In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. It is arguably one of the most famous opening lines in all of ancient literature. Whether you've read the source text 100 times or you're coming to it completely fresh, those words, well, they carry an undeniable weight. Okay, let's dive into this because what you might not know is that in the original Hebrew, this opening line is exactly 7 words long. 7. That's no accident. It is our very first massive hint at the mathematical precision and the deliberate structure we are about to uncover. Today, we're going to look really closely at the opening chapter of Genesis, but we aren't just going to read it. Oh no, we are going to deconstruct it. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're mapping out Genesis 1, chaos to order. We'll be analyzing this ancient text not just for what it says on the surface, but for its incredibly deliberate, highly structured, and frankly, brilliantly poetic architecture. What might look at first glance like a simple chronological list of events is actually a masterclass in literary design. It's a purposeful journey from absolute chaos into perfect, functioning order.
So here is our roadmap for how we'll break this whole thing down today. First, we'll look at the initial state, formless, void, and dark. Second, we'll explore days 1 to 3, which focus entirely on forming. Third, we'll see how days 4 to 6 focus on filling. Fourth, we'll examine the climax of the text with the image and dominion. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a very good conclusion.
Section 1, Formless, Void, and Dark, the initial state of the world. Every great narrative introduces a problem right at the very beginning that desperately needs to be solved, right? Well, the Genesis text is absolutely no exception. To really get the 6 days of creation, we first have to understand the specific problem the text is trying to resolve. Right away, the earth is described as without form and void. In the original Hebrew, this phrase is tuhu vabohu. It roughly translates to formless and empty or a wild waste. And this right here is the central tension of our source text. The earth is just a shapeless, chaotic, empty mess. It has zero structure, it's formless, and it has no inhabitants, it's void. Literally everything that happens next in the text is a systematic, step-by-step solution to this exact two-part problem. The text goes on to describe darkness over the face of the deep and the Spirit of God hovering over the face of the waters. Notice the vivid imagery here. It's this dark, chaotic, watery abyss. And for an ancient Near Eastern audience, the deep, dark ocean was the ultimate symbol of terrifying, uncontrollable chaos. But right amidst all that chaos, there is this sense of profound anticipation. The Spirit is hovering, just ready to act. The canvas is blank. It's pitch dark, it's watery, and it is desperately waiting for order. Which brings us to Section 2, days 1 to 3, forming, building the framework. This is exactly where the text begins to tackle the first half of that big central problem. Remember, the earth is without form and void, while days 1 through 3 are dedicated exclusively to solving the without form part of the equation. It's time to build some structure. On day 1, God speaks light into existence, separating the light from the darkness, calling them day and night. Day 2, an expanse is created to separate the waters. Then on day 3, dry land is separated from the seas, and vegetation begins to sprout. As you read through the source material, you'll notice there is a rhythmic, almost hypnotic pacing to these days. And God said, and it was so, and God saw that it was good. Over and over again. Boundaries are being drawn, chaos is being categorized. What is really fascinating here, and honestly why it matters so much to our understanding of the text, is the spatial logic of day 2. The text says God created an expanse in the midst of the waters to separate the waters below from the waters above. Now, in an ancient cosmological understanding, the sky was viewed almost like a solid vault, literally holding back the chaotic cosmic waters. By carving out this expanse, which gets called heaven, the text shows a distinct, safe realm being opened up right inside the chaos. The unformed mess is literally being pushed back by the Creator to create highly structured domains. Time on day 1, sky and sea on day 2, and habitable land on day 3. So the formless problem, officially solved. Moving on to Section 3, days 4 to 6, filling, populating the realms. So what about the void problem? The stage is beautifully built, but the stage is totally empty. The realms have been formed, and now they need to be populated. The text immediately shifts its focus to giving these brand new domains their specific rulers and inhabitants. Day 4, God creates the sun, the moon, and the stars. Day 5, the waters swarm with sea creatures, and birds are made to fly across the expanse. And then day 6, the earth brings forth livestock, beasts, and creeping things. All those empty spaces are now absolutely teeming with life and activity. But the true genius of this text isn't just in the chronological timeline, it's in the structural relationship between these two sets of days. And this brilliantly illustrates the incredible symmetry I've been talking about. Take a look at this. Day 4 explicitly fills the space created on day 1. The realms of light and dark are filled by the sun, moon, and stars. Then day 5 fills the spaces from day 2. The sky and the waters are populated by birds and sea creatures. And day 6 fills day 3. The dry land and plants become the home and sustenance for land animals and eventually man. The problem of formless and void hasn't just been solved. It's been solved with absolute architectural perfection. It's a perfectly matching grid of domains and inhabitants. Mind-blowing, right?
Section 4. The image and dominion. Humanity's role. So the domains are completely built and they are fully populated, but the narrative is building toward a highly specific climax on the second half of day 6. A totally new kind of creature is about to be introduced into this perfectly structured world. Up until this point, the rhythm has been a variation of let there be or let the waters swarm. But right here, the text actually pauses and the creator speaks in a very unique way. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. It's personal, it's deliberate, and it marks a profound departure from literally everything else created so far. Humanity isn't just another animal filling a space, they are designated as the very image of the creator within this brand new world.
And with that image comes a very specific mandate. Male and female humans are given a job description. They're told to be fruitful and multiply, to fill the earth, to subdue it, and to have dominion over the fish, the birds, and every single living thing. Connect this back to our architectural grid for a second. God spent the first 3 days ruling over the chaos to create order. Now, humanity is placed inside that order and tasked with ruling over it on God's behalf. They are the ultimate managers of these newly established domains.
Furthermore, the text outlines the specific provisions to sustain this new hierarchy. It explicitly states that humans are given every seed-bearing plant and fruit tree for food, while the beasts and birds are given every green plant. Why even include this little detail here? Well, it's actually a major revelation. It paints a picture of a perfectly designed ecosystem that is completely devoid of violence. Both humanity and the animal kingdom are sustained by the abundant plant life created back on day 3. The chaotic, terrifying deep has been entirely replaced by a harmonious, self-sustaining system where there is zero conflict over resources. Which leads us into Section 5, a very good conclusion. The design is complete. We've traced the text from a dark, formless void all the way to a flourishing, ordered world managed by humanity. So the crucial point is to notice the subtle but absolutely vital shift in the narrative's rhythm right at the end. Throughout the first 5 days, the repeated verdict has always been, and God saw that it was good. Just good. But at the conclusion of day 6, after humanity is placed within this perfectly balanced ecosystem, the text says, and God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. The addition of the word very signals that the ultimate climax has finally been reached. The architecture is finished. Let's just summarize this amazing literary journey we've been on. The text introduces the problem, a universe that is a terrifying, wild, formless void. It executes the solution part 1, forming the structural realms over 3 days to systematically fix the formlessness. Then it executes the solution part 2, filling those realms over the next 3 days to systematically fix the void. And it culminates in the result, a very good order managed by humanity reflecting the exact intention of the creator. It's just a remarkable piece of ancient structural genius. By analyzing the structure, we can clearly see that Genesis 1 is much, much more than a simple chronological list. It is a profound declaration about the transformation of chaos into purpose. It's literally an architectural blueprint of order. And I want to leave you with this final, thought-provoking question. If the text deliberately begins with a dark, wild, formless void, what does its final, symmetrical, very good order tell us about the nature and the purpose of this creation? I highly encourage you to revisit the source material with fresh eyes and with this new framework in mind. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and as always, keep looking for the structure beneath the surface.